Hey guys, we are back for Bandcamp Dailies number 36, and we have some listens, and we have 4 songs we're going to be looking at today. We've done Cries from a Defective Mind, we've done Gay Song. We are going to be looking at Bass Acoustic. This one just came in under the buzzer, I believe. I was about to start my video, and then I loaded my Bandcamp page, and I noticed that this one was listened to as well. So I had to sort of regroup and figure out something to say about this. So once again, I have a text file under here. I do have a couple things written about that. Okay, so I do have some bullet points listed about Bass Acoustic. We're going to be talking about this one. We're also going to be talking about Kansas City, Hail Satan. Pretty edgy song title there. I guess not really edgy, but we are talking about that one. Also, we're talking about part 1.6 and part 2.1. These 2 songs are from Cassette Jams. These 2 songs are from Forever Trapped in Broken Mirror 2002, the 2002 demo. And then Kansas City Shred 1 we've listened to, Shard 1 we've listened to, Shard 2 we've listened to. So we're doing these 2 and these 2. All right, so with that being said, I say that a lot as well. Let's click on here. We're going to start with the Cassette Jams songs. All right, so where do we have to go? We have to go, Cassette Jams is the really old stuff, the super old stuff. Actually, the oldest stuff I have is on YouTube. What is it called? It's Coca-Cola Classics. That's the first, that's not true. I was about to say it's the first thing I ever recorded, but that's not true. It's among the first stuff that I've ever recorded. I don't have that on Bandcamp, but the video is on YouTube. It's Coca-Cola Classics, all with K's. And however, there is something that I recorded before that. I think I mentioned it before in a video. It was when me and some friends were hanging out. They ended up coming over, and we hung out in my room. And one of the guys, this was in Newfoundland, one of the guys was doing like a stand-up comedy routine based off of some Newfoundlander comic. And so he did that in the mic, and then I had my guitar, and I was playing guitar, and I would hit these like chords, these jazz chords, in between his words where he was speaking. He was getting really annoyed and telling me to shut up and stuff. It was pretty funny. I don't know. I mean, I could digitize that, but I didn't really think it was that interesting. Maybe I'll do that eventually. So we're going to do that. Now, what do we have to listen to? We have to listen to Bass Acoustic and yes, we're going to listen to Hail Satan first, then Bass Acoustic. And before that, I have to make some popcorn. But even before that, I forgot to mention a couple things. Previous video, I sounded extremely Canadian there whenever I say video, I feel like I sound very Canadian. That one I noticed very much. I don't mind. It's just I noticed that. Previous video, I just did it again. Bandcamp Dailies number 35. I did a bunch of counting along to the rhythm in I think 2 different songs, and it's out of sync with the music. So I don't know why that happens. That never used to happen when I was on Windows 10 and I was using an older version of OBS. I don't know. So I don't know if it's an OBS thing or if it's a Windows 11 thing or what the dealio is. But I was counting, and it wasn't in sync with the music, and so my whole that whole part of the video just made no sense because it's all out of sync. But whatever. And yesterday I released a new vlog entitled what's it called? Walking in the Woods, where I was walking with dogs, and I was extremely proud of my YouTube thumbnail. I was extremely proud of that. So let's just take a little peek-see at my YouTube thumbnail. Okay, first of all, let's resize that. Then let's resize this. Look at how nice this looks. This is just so pretty. This is a screenshot from the video, but then I added a bunch of effects, and so I also deleted the background and put the dogs as a new layer, and then added another layer with the white underneath, and then I added the red eyes, and then I made them look cartoony, and then I enhanced the saturation in the background, And I think I used the watercolor effect, and it ended up looking very nice. And I'm very, very proud of this. So I just wanted to show it off. Okay, so with that being said, I just said it again. I'm going to go make some popcorn, so I will be right back. And we are back. Got my popcorn. And you may have noticed I also changed my shirt. You probably did not notice. I'm assuming no one's even watching this. But I did change my shirt. And by the end of the video, I'm going to be completely naked. I'm just joking. Everyone clicked the X on the video as soon as I said that. I got the popcorn. I'm going to be talking about the popcorn a little bit. Tonight, I chose ladyfinger popcorn. I've had that once before. This is the smallest version of the popcorn. It's the smallest of the hull-less. So absolutely no hulls. Very small. I forgot how small it was because I almost filled the entire portion up. And it only made this much. So I forgot about that. So I probably should have made more. But oh well, what can you do? Looking forward to trying these again. All right, so I think I talked about. Oh yeah, so it's kind of like where people do wine pairings. So they make a meal and then you pair it with a specific type of wine. This is me. We're listening to music and I'm pairing it with a specific type of popcorn kernel. It's kind of like that. I wanted to make that joke, and so I made it. And so it's really funny, isn't it? All right, so we are listening to Hail Satan. Okay, so this song, this is a very cringy song from I think 1999 or 2000. It's probably 99. So for this song, this was Ken and I. We were in my bedroom, and so we used to, Dave would come over as well. We would hang out in my bedroom. And so I had a computer in there eventually, not immediately, because oh my God, no, I didn't have a computer in there, because when I recorded The Last Breath of the Dying in 2001, I had to bring the family computer into my bedroom in order to record it. So I did not have a computer. Okay, so I did not have a computer. I wonder if I had a TV. I probably had a TV. Yeah, I think I had an old TV in there that I could use to play video games and whatnot. I must have. Like, what else would I have been doing in my bedroom? So what am I trying to say? Yeah, so they would come into my room and we would just hang out. And I mentioned this before, a lot of the times, because I had my tape deck and my microphone, we would just record ourselves talking like idiots and record it onto cassette tapes. And so this is what we were doing for this song, for the Hail Satan song. This was just, I can remember us sort of doing this. I mean, I remember us being in the room, and I had my guitar. I was playing guitar, and Ken had the microphone, and he was speaking. It was probably from the same session as Slumberland as well. So these probably came from the same session. I have the cassette back in the back there, so I mean I could figure out all the gritty details if I really wanted to. But that's what we used to do. We just screw around in the bedroom. The bedroom that I mentioned, it has wooden panels on the walls. I believe I mentioned this bedroom before. It was a very small bedroom. For some reason, my younger sister, she was the second oldest of the kids, but she used to get all the best rooms, all the best bedrooms whenever we would move to a new house. I don't know why. I don't know why she got them. I feel like I told her, I would tell her, like, I don't care what room I have. And so she would take the best room. I feel like that's what would happen. And so that's what happened here as well. My bedroom was like in the basement, but her bedroom was there's like another 2 steps that went further down. And so there was a door. And then her bedroom was like very secluded. It was very nice. I ended up taking it over, eventually, but in the meantime, I was in this wooden panel bedroom, and I actually still have It was very small, and I still have dreams about this bedroom. The last dream I had about it was just a few weeks ago. I don't really remember the specifics of the dream, but yeah, if I remember correctly, there was a closet, and I had the closet always open. And then there was, I put a shelf or like a drawer or something in there, and I put the TV on top of it. So it wasn't really a closet as much as where the TV went because it was so small. But yeah, I also had my amp in there and my guitar. So yeah, that's what I did a lot too in my stereo. I played guitar a lot. Yeah. All right. So let me consult my text file here. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's just listen to it then, and I will talk some more about it. So my guitar is not like hooked in. It doesn't have a dedicated mic on it. It's not directly inputted into the tape deck. The sound from the guitar is coming from the mic that Ken's holding. So it picks up shortly. There's vocals. That's me on guitar, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I don't know if you can hear. We're talking right there, talking to each other. Ken wants to start this this chant or something. Hail Satan, you will all die. Okay. All right. So Ken is saying "Hail Satan," and I'm saying "You will all die."
Hail Satan, you will all die. Satan, you will all die. Hail Satan, you motherfuckers will all die. Hail Satan, die.
So there's your song. Yeah, I mean, what do you do when you're an edgy teenager? These are the sort of things that you do when you're an edgy teenager. So I guess that's it for that song. Well, let's go to the next one. Donkey Kong Country bass acoustic. And I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm pretty sure like there are satanic people around, but I'm not a Satanist or anything like that. You know, back in these days, it was more of just like, it was more like the shock value rather than any type of ideology, I feel like. I mean, there's more I could say, I guess, but I don't know how to express. So we're just gonna go straight to whatever I said. Bass acoustic. All right, so bass acoustic. This is I believe it's the third song. So Donkey Kong Country, that's Dave, Ken, and Chris. One hand tap, whistle, and bass acoustic. These were all from the same session. We've listened to both of these two already. So now we're doing bass acoustic to finish off the session. And this one features all three of us. So as far as I know, this was completely improvised. At least it was for Dave and I. This is Ken on bass. Now I don't know if he improvised the bass line, or if it was like a riff that he thought of or something. But I don't even know what we were playing before this. We were probably doing like a cover or something. I don't know, but because clearly we were in the middle of something. But so Ken starts playing this bass line, and then we all start to improvise around it, and it ended up being a very good song. It's a very long song. It's almost 10 minutes. So let's just listen to it. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how I should play along to this. So the chords don't sound very good at the beginning, but then I get get a handle on it. And so Dave, Ken and I'm playing guitar. Dave's playing drums. Ken's playing bass. Ken and I are both playing out of my amp. We both hooked into my amp. Whenever we would do that, I would play cleanly, so there would be no distortion, so that his bass wouldn't be affected as well. Because I don't think he had a bass amp. I don't know if he did or not, but bass amps are very heavy. That might be a reason as well. I don't know. Yeah, it does this for 9 minutes. Ken played the wrong fret there. we just kept going and going and going. I forgot to mention this was at my parents' house. Dave brought his drums over, and Ken brought his bass over, and we jammed. There was always a question on for this session here. These three songs, one hand tap whistle and bass acoustic, on whether we had smoked a joint, whether we were drunk, and I don't really remember. The one thing I do remember though is I feel like there was definitely a question of. I feel like we were about to buy weed, and so I feel like we finished the session, and then it's like, okay, it's time to buy weed. That's the thing that I remember about that. That's really interesting, isn't it? I don't know where that feedback is coming from. Maybe the microphone was on as well. That makes no sense though, because there would be two inputs. My guitar, Ken's bass. Yeah, I don't understand where the feedback's coming from. I guess the microphone was plugged into my tape deck. So maybe there's some feedback coming from there. I don't know. Oh my God, that song was so amazing. That's what we were like at the end of the song. We're like, oh my God, that was so cool. And it was cool. It was cool at the time. We were in the zone, and it's kind of funny because that song was pretty much only 2 chords, and we just meander around those 2 chords doing various things. So 2 chords for 9 minutes and 42 seconds. Is that too much? Is that wrong? Should I not have done that? That's a George Costanza reference. All right, so let's go. So there's your Cassette Jams section of the video. Now let's go to the Forever Trapped in Broken Mirror 2002 section of the video. Now we changed the artwork in the previous video that we talked about this. I don't even remember what songs we talked, probably chart 1 and chart 2. So part 1.6 and part 2.1, that's what we're talking about now. These songs did not make it onto the final Forever Trapped in Broken Mirror release album or whatever that was released by Blood Bucket Productions. So they only appear on this demo. This was in 2002. This has programmed drums. We've talked about this before. And so we're starting with 1.6. So it's kind of interesting. Part 1.6, this, I made an initial demo version. I guess this is technically a demo, but I made a demo version of this song before this. So a demo version of the demo version. It was one of the first songs I recorded. And on that one, I had used my old PV combo amp. I talked about that, how I got when I started recording this, I got a new amp for my 19th birthday or 18th birthday. It must have been my 19th birthday. And but I couldn't get the levels right. So I tried recording with it, and there was just too much bass. And so it took me a while there's a little bit of a learning curve on how to set up the EQ levels on the actual amp and all that sort of stuff. And so I ended up going back to my PV combo amp, and I recorded the demo version of this demo version. So the one we're listening to is like the final version on this demo. I'm saying demo way too much. The one I'm talking about, the demo version of the demo version, that appears on Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror Rejects, I believe is what the album's called. It contains, rejected songs and also demo versions of various songs. But for this one, this has the very bassy guitar tone where I couldn't get the levels right on my new Marshall amp that you've seen in the background of some of my videos. I'm trying to think which one. I'm pretty sure it appears in my Friend Zoned video. Pretty sure it appears there in the background. Multiple other videos as well. So let's listen to it. These songs are very short, so it's going to be, I guess, yeah, hopefully it won't take too long. By the way, the reason I was talking about that demo version of the demo version is because I think it sounds better than the final version. That happened occasionally. I'm just going to show you how I'm just going to do a side-by-side comparison. So Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror extras. Oh, extras is what it's called. So here it is right here. I just think it sounds better. It's got a better guitar tone. I forgot that this song has vocals. I completely forgot. So the vocals, there's no lyrics. Once again, it's just me making noises. Okay, and it does seg into the next song pretty nicely. It wasn't supposed to do that at all, but I'm gonna let it do that. I'm gonna cue up this song though. So next one we're talking about is part 2.1, and this one was recorded with my old PV combo amp. So I talked. There was a bullet point about that. Oh yeah. And apparently, this, as far as I know, this might be the only Forever Trapped in a Broken Mirror song that has keyboards on it. I'm trying to think if there's another one. From this era, there is one from the 2006 era. There's a song from 2006 era that part 19, I believe it is. There's one section that has keyboards, and it's literally just two different notes. But from this era, with but the one I'm talking about, part 19, that has real drums. From this era with the drum machine, I'm pretty sure this is the only song that has keyboard. So it's kind of interesting. If I remember correctly, I borrowed Dave's keyboard. I did that for Forever Trapped in Broken for The Last Breath of the Dying as well in 2001, and it's right at the beginning. So this song is kind of interesting. It's sort of all over the place. It keeps changing, and then it doesn't sort of reference riffs that have already happened. So it's a sort of stream of consciousness songwriting style. And apparently this was the favorite song, the favorite Time of Death song from this guy who used to run this website called Metal Hordes. Not Metal Whores, Metal Hordes with a D. Apparently it doesn't exist anymore. It was sort of like a metal archives type of website where they had a whole bunch of different websites for bands. And for some reason I was in contact with him. He was probably a part of one of those chat rooms I used to go to. It wasn't the first one on Napster. It was probably when we transferred over to Audio Gnome. Because otherwise, how would I have gotten in touch with him? I don't remember. However, I knew that he used to always listen to this song, to this specific song. I wonder if it had to do with the keyboards. I don't know. But either way, it's only 49 seconds long. So I think there's actually 2 keyboard parts. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so let's listen to it. Yeah, we're going to let it seg in. All right, we're just going to listen to it again because, the riffs are kind of fast. Most of this song is this last riff here. So, yeah, I mean, the very beginning, there is some sort of a sample at the very beginning. I don't know what it is. It happens for a split second. It's like, I don't know if it's feedback or I feel like it's not feedback. I feel like it's a sample. Might be like a tornado or something. I don't know. But then it goes right into, and the drum beat for this opening part is just ridiculous. It's just a bunch of fills, crazy fills. And then the guitar part is just a bunch of hammer-ons. And what is the keyboard doing? I'm doing the same thing on the keyboard. That's pretty cool. But not hammer-ons. I'm just doing, I don't know what you call that. I don't know my keyboard, my piano terminology, but fast notes on the keyboard. It sounds pretty crazy, pretty scary as well, if I do say so myself. I like that part too. It's very melodic. Sounds pretty cool. And this riff is very catchy. All right, so there you go. There's part 2.1. My nose is very itchy. So I think that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. The Ladyfinger Popcorn is definitely a hit. This might be my favorite now. The one thing I don't like about it, it's very small and it sort of keeps falling out of my hand. So that's the only problem with it, but it tastes great. There are no hulls. They're not getting stuck in my teeth and whatnot. So I think next time I'm going to go back to the red. I'm going to try out the red popcorn again, see how well that does. Spoiler alert. Sorry for spoiling my popcorn choice. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.